Hello and welcome to BOI Weekly. I'm Kayode Alayande. Today, we are in Akure, Ondo State, to visit Micmaking Nigeria Limited, an agro-allied concern which runs a bakery. They're also into farming, growing cassava and processing same into gari, fufu, and cassava flour. The chief promoter and CEO, Mr. Olayato Aribo, is a banker and stockbroker turned master baker. His story is that of a businessman who has tried his hands on so many things and has overcome several hurdles to ensure that he succeeds as an entrepreneur. Now, if you're one of those struggling with a decision to leave your paid employment to starting something that gives you fulfillment, you should watch this edition because Mr. Aribo's story might just inspire you to begin the tough and rewarding journey. He's a serial beneficiary of loans from the Bank of Industry, and he sure knows a thing or two about the impact of BOI's intervention in a business. The latest funding from the Bank of Industry was delivered to support his bakery producing Oyato bread. Their loaves and other products have become a household name in Akure, the Ondo State capital, as well as in Ekiti and environs. Stay close.
The agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plants to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
When I left the bank in 2003, I started stockbroking. I left from school straight to the banking industry and would normally leave home around 6 a.m. in the morning. I would come back around 9, 10 in the night. When I started stockbroking, by 1, 2, I'm through. And I realized that I could not continue that way. So I decided to key in. I was watching the program on television, this Obasanjo policy on cassava bread production, and I decided to key to it to process high quality cassava flour. And I realized that I could not start that one in Lagos, so I decided to relocate down to Ondo State here to start cassava farming.
But Lagos is a commercial city. Why did you think you couldn't start in Lagos?
To produce cassava, you will need land. And I know there's no way I could get to even buy land in Lagos. I will have the money to continue the production if I even have the money to buy. So I decided to relocate here, knowing fully well that I have enough, we have access to big hectares of land to produce cassava. When I moved down, and at a point, when Obasanjo left, that was in 2007, because that policy was not backed by law, the flour millers stopped buying cassava flour from us, and that business went down seriously. We were unable to sell the cassava flour to those flour millers. So I started thinking of what to do. And I decided to set up a small shop to sell. I took a distributorship of USC dairies to sell ice cream. We branded the place, and I wanted to turn it to a confectionery store where we can buy ice cream, sell cake, sell bread and so on. Well, in the process, while I was taking up that, I wanted to go back to Lagos to get a good bread where I could sell there. And it was then I heard of food concept producing butterfeed. So I met with them, and they decided to give me, they told me they could give me a franchise of the butter feed so I can produce butter feed here. But the process while we were trying to sign the agreement, I also realized they are the one also in charge of Czech Republic. And I felt Czech Republic will sell better here. So I decided to start with the Czech Republic. If you look at this factory, we built it together, thinking, okay, I will put Czech Republic in front, and then the bakery at the back. So down the line, we started with Czech Republic, and we could not do the bakery at that time for a very long time because of finance and all other things. So it took us almost 2-3 years after we started with Czech Republic before I could start with the bakery. So later on, I decided to start, and I felt this time around I should just start with my own bread, using my own name instead of going with Butterfeed. We had discussed with them, they agreed, and I started with Butterfeed. But it was then, we also had an issue with finance, and I had to approach Bank of Industry. It was the one that financed the bakery at a very, very good rate for me.
Now, you just touched on a raw nerve. Many people are stuck in that place you mentioned where they know they should go into commercial agriculture and they're interested in it. They're deeply and truly interested in it, but they are stuck with their job, but they know they should be there. You have made that transition. How would you advise someone who is stuck in that transition right now?
No, it's difficult. For me at that time, it was a pretty difficult decision. But my advice to them is that they should just, if you have an idea and you are convinced, you have faith in it, all you need to do is take a decision and move. Because at that time, some of my friends told me that they know I will come back. They don't know what I'm going to do in Akure, in those states, that they know I will come back to Lagos. But I decided that I will not. Though it was tough at the beginning, and I can tell others that it may be tough, but all they need to do is be persistent. They should remain, and with time, things will sort itself out.
Now, the Bank of Industry has featured prominently in your background story. Now, can you give me a timeline of those interventions?
No, at the beginning, when we started, I told you we're having a cassava factory, and at a point, we could not finance some of the equipment that we needed there. We approached them, and they gave us money to buy those equipment, though we've repaid. And again, when we wanted to start the bakery, we also approached them, and they gave us loan at 5% to finance, to buy an oven, a mixer, a prover, then a molder, and a slicer.
Now, how have those interventions helped you?
I think without the breast business, the margin there is very, very thin. And if not for that kind of loan at that rate, it would have been tough. But because the rate is good, and we're able to use it judiciously and be able to make money. Even at a point, recently we also approached them that wanted to expand, because we also have a branch in Ibadan and Ado-Ekiti. So they also gave us additional money to expand and to set up those bakeries.
When you started the bakery business, how many workers did you have? And compare that to how many people work for you now?
For the bakery alone, we started with about 10 people. That was a shift. We started with 10 people at the beginning, 10. But I had to transfer some people from the other divisions to the bakery. And we started with about 10. And today, for the 3 bakeries, we have about close to about 140. But for McMakin, because we also have people in the factory, in the farm, and also in Czech Republic, I mean the arm of the fast food. We have about 350 staff.
So let's now focus on the bread business. Give me a picture of your mode of operation.
The first one is that your packaging must be attractive. And that's one thing we have got it right. Our packaging is very attractive. Then in most cases, when people want to buy bread, they look at the packaging and say, okay, give me that bread. They will touch it. If it's soft, they will consciously or unconsciously, they will try to smell it and see whether the smell is good. That's the third one. And if it is good, it's okay, they will buy. Eat it. And if after eating, the taste is also good, that's the fourth one, they will put it away for a while. And if the shelf life is good, that is, if you can store it for 2-3 days or 4 days, then they will keep coming and keep buying. So, and those are the qualities that we've gotten right in Oyato. Our packaging is okay, it's very good, it's soft, the smell is good, the taste is also good, and you can also keep our bread for 3, 4, 5 days or 6 days, depending.
You really do understand the psychology of bread making. Now, can you tell me about the different types of loaves or products that you have?
We have the large loaf, which we sell for $3.50. We have the family loaf, that's the most popular loaf, for $2.50 naira. Then the special bread, that's my own special recipe. We call it special bread. It's a round bread, and there are more ingredients in that than the family loaf, and we sell it for 300 naira. Then we have wheat. We also produce wheat flour for those that doesn't want sugar. We also produce smaller loaves for those that could not afford the 250. We have the mini and the smaller loaf. There's one for 150, and there's another one for 70 naira. Smaller loaves. Then we also have cassava bread, where we add 10% or 5% of cassava flour to wheat to produce cassava.